High school, what a primitive environment. And with all the hormones and drama, it's really hard to stay in your self-improvement journey. So today, the boys from Pablo's Pill will give you their expert advice on how to survive high school, stay in your grind, and have the best time of your life. So when we think about the social environment in high school, it's usually this cliche. You know, you have the nerdy kids and then you have the popular social kids. And, in the cliche, it's usually the nerds are the skinny boys, acne, they've got the round glasses, really good in school, they read a lot, so they do a lot of good habits, are intelligent, but no one really wants to be friends with those.
They barely go to parties, have no friends, and they're probably going to leave the school as a virgin. Whereas the popular kid, they go to all the parties, living life to its fullest, and everyone looks up to them. Everyone wants to be like these popular social kids. Yeah, it's very important to know that there's clear pros and cons to both of these. So it's not completely bad being a popular kid, and it's not completely bad being a nerd. Absolutely not.
And I say the pros of being a nerd is that you're usually going to have more career options because you focus more on school, you're not living that hedonistic lifestyle, you already practice things like delayed gratification at an early age, and you're doing a lot of good habits. But if you're one of the popular kids, obviously you're going to have a life that you're going to look back on and say, wow, I really lived life to the fullest. You're going to have a lot better social skills and just a way better time. So obviously both are very, very good things to be.
But it's not all just sunshine and rainbows. No. There's also cons to both of these. Obviously, if you are a nerd, it's what we just said. You're not perceived as that high value person because young kids, they usually don't value all these good things, like being good in school, getting good grades, or having an actual long-term perspective. Everyone just values the Chad. And obviously the Chad does not have that many career options later on in life if his grades are pretty low. Sure, the nerd might also work a 9 to 5 because people that are good in school, they make good workers, not good entrepreneurs. But the nerd is probably still going to have better income sources late in his life than the Chad that just wasted his youth on not developing intellectually. So it's really about finding a good balance between the two of these dynamics and positioning yourself in a place where you can profit from both of these things, both dynamics, being the popular kid and the nerd, but also eliminate all or most of the negatives that come with both of these.
So when we're thinking about finding a balance between both to really get all of the benefits from high school, both in a social and also financial perspective, it makes a lot of sense to do some of these tips that are going to help you find a better balance. Like, for example, applying the Pareto principle to your studies.
It's quite a big one right there. So this is something that you can only do if you can really afford it. If you have some grades that are decent enough and you don't need the absolute top-notch grades to get into that one uni that you need to become a doctor, then you can apply this principle, but be very careful with it. Basically what it says is that you're only going to do 20% of the work, 20% of the studying and so on. That's basically going to give you 80% of the grades. That's right, your grades are ultimately going to be 20% worse than they were if you did not do this. However, you're going to have 80% more time to spend on other things. Things that you can use to become more like the popular smart kid.
Precisely. That's similar to what I did to get my Abitur, or A-levels as you British kids may know it, which is basically, I didn't study a lot and I sacrificed a bit of my grade. But the fact that I only focused on what gives me the biggest rewards and had to study a lot less and had a lot more time for other productive habits, it was really worth it for me in the end. And if you can afford it, go for that option. Now that you have all this extra time, you're probably wondering, what do I do with it? How do I now become the popular kid? And personally for me, since I was that balance, I can tell you that being a social hybrid is the best thing to do. This basically means that you're the type of person that is welcomed by every single group. Whether someone wants to go to a party with you or an opera, they want to go surfing with you or whatever, you're always the go-to guy. because you're fun to be around. You're not that negative, you don't complain, you're just always down to have a good time. And that's just really a good person to be around, because this is going to expose you to a lot of different people. You're going to meet so many more people, and it's really going to help you with your social skills and your general personal development. And the good thing is, of course, you're going to meet a lot of people that aren't going to be your friends forever. But in that way, you also find a lot of people that, have the same habits as you, they have the same mindset. Maybe they're into self-improvement. And those are the kind of people you want to keep for a longer time. So you have the short-term friends, and then you have the long-term friends as well, who do the same habits. And the best way to get exposed to them is to be a social hybrid.
Definitely. That's really going to affect your life really positively in the long term. I'd say if your friends have the same interests as you, that's going to form some much stronger friendships than if you have some friends that you kind of share some interests with, or you just kind of go to parties together. So that's a little bonus on top right there. Another thing that you can do to really up your value and find these better friendships, basically becoming more of a popular cool kid, is if you use this new time, these 80% that you just gained, and learn some new habits, or do some habits that really affect you positively. Basically habits that are seen as Chad habits, like going to the gym. Not only are you going to be perceived as a Chad, you're going to be better looking, so more Chad-like or more popular kid-like. And in 10 years from now, you're really going to be happy that you hit the gym back then. So that's a habit that you can easily incorporate.
Of course, this doesn't mean that you should just not do any habits like meditating or journaling or reading books. Those are still very important. But, these other habits that benefit both the nerd and the popular kid, like going to the gym, improving your social skills, or improving your looks, they're going to give you the most bang for your buck. And I feel like those are the ones that you should really, really focus on mainly. And for a lot of people, going to the gym is kind of their gateway drug into self-improvement. It's kind of the kind of thing that people already start at 16, and then they properly get into self-improvement at a later age. At least that's the way it was for us.
I think another reason why the gym is such a gateway drug is because it really builds discipline from a young age. If you're doing your set, say 12 reps of a lat pull down, you can't just simply stop at 7. You're going to push yourself to that 12, and that builds discipline right there.
Wow, what a banging episode. Don't forget to check out this video as well. We'll see you there.